today we are going to talk about, of course, our beloved Kika. She's the start of all of our madness, and a lot of you guys have shown interest in the family tree and how it all started and how many generations we have. And so today, that's exactly what we are going to do. All right, welcome back. Okay, so I have a slideshow that we are going to talk about today. So today we have created this amazing family tree, and I know it's kind of small because we had to fit so many dogs in here. But we're gonna start up here at the very top because two of those dogs are Kika's parents, and she's the start of this. So Kika was born in 2003. That is how long we have been involved with the Alaskan Klee Kai. First, I want to show you her parents. Now, keep in mind, I didn't breed Kika. I bought her from another breeder who is no longer breeding, but Andrea Hayes is where I got her from. And so the parents are both deceased at this time, and it was very, very hard to find photos of Kika's parents. I have one of each of them, and that is it. So forgive me for them being pretty horrible, but it is what it is. I can't go back 20 years and try to find them. So Bo is this guy right here, which is really old and blurry, but he is more of a full-coated dog, or he was, and he is gray and white with brown eyes. And her mama is Kina. And again, old pictures, I don't have them, but Kina was also a gray and white and blue-eyed. So her dad was brown-eyed, her mom was blue-eyed. And then they made our famous Kika. So, for example, you see our logo right here? That picture that you're looking at is where our logo came from. So that is her head, that is her picture, that is her tongue, that is everything. So anytime you see that, that is a great representation for Kika's Klee Kai because it's all on her. Some of my pictures of Kika are horrible because we didn't have amazing cameras and phones that have great picture quality back in 2003. But Kika was born June 18th of 2003. And so there she is as a puppy, 4 weeks old in this picture down here on the bottom, if you guys can see that. So she's 4 weeks old there. That was when the breeder sent me a picture, and we were making decisions. We actually drove and met Kika at 4 weeks old and picked her. She was the only girl. She had two brothers. They were all three light gray and white. Now, remember, we talk about the light gray and whites a lot, so I'm gonna go back here for a second. Both of her parents are pretty light gray and white, and they never repeated this breeding, but they got the one litter, and all three were light gray and white. I try to do that, it doesn't work. I end up with white puppies. But that is a very interesting fact because all three were very light gray. We've got some old ones. We're gonna show a couple old ones here. So Brayden and Alexis are 22 and almost 21, and those are them two right there. And so Kika was very young in this photo because, I don't know, Alexis probably looks like you're what, 3 or 4? Probably 4. Yeah. Brayden doesn't even have any teeth. So Kika was bred to a male named Sky. I did not own Sky. Again, I had to hunt and peck for a photo. This is the best I could get. It is a black and white brown-eyed boy named Sky. So we bred Kika to Sky, and they gave us Cassie. Now, Cassie was a very special dog. She was 6 months old and won Best in Show. For the Alaskan Klee Kai, that is very, very rare. June of 2005 is when she won Best in Show. So in 2005, the Alaskan Klee Kai were not the most common at a dog show, and a lot of them were very nervous and shy. And so for her to win Best in Show out of all breeds at 6 months old, she was 6 months old one day, was amazing. So she became probably our top dog in dog shows, and for everybody, like everybody just loved Cassie. Kika's first daughter that we kept is Cassie. So Kika started this, then Cassie, and there's a big correlation you guys are gonna see here in a second. So then we took Kika's mom, which is Kina, and we bred her to Kona. And Kona we bought from another breeder. We bought him from Eileen in Colorado back in, I think he was in 2004 also. So we didn't own Kina, but we made a deal with Andrea, and so we used our male, which was Kona, and bred him to Kika's mom. And when we did that, we got Bodhi. And Bodhi was a deal where Andrea and I made an agreement that I would get one puppy out of that breeding for using Kona as our stud. So we sold Bodhi to Julie. He's won weight pool. He's done a lot of dog show competition stuff, but a lot of weight pool and fun things. So there's Bodhi. Now, then we took Kona. Remember, Kona created Bodhi, but then we took Kona and bred him to Cassie. So remember, Cassie's not related to Kona, right? So we bred Cassie to Kona. And what we got was Mackenzie, this is Mackenzie, and Chance. And Mackenzie stayed with us, and Chance we sold to another breeder. He ended up coming back to us, always seems to happen, and we had these two dogs. So Mackenzie was my second, or our second, top show dog. 6 months old, winning best in shows. Remember that Mackenzie is a Cassie daughter. So a lot of genes came from her mom. And so look at my little princess. She used to suck her fingers and twirl her hair. And Brayden and Mackenzie. Mackenzie in the middle here at her first dog show. And then some other dog show pictures of Mackenzie. Lots of pictures of Mackenzie. You're gonna see very similar structure, but Mackenzie was bigger. So Cassie was a toy, Mackenzie was a miniature. And then we took Bodhi and we bred him to Abby. So Abby and Bodhi created Hunter. Now, if you guys have been around a while, you guys know Hunter. Hunter has been a huge asset in our breeding program. Probably one of our top studs here, has produced a lot of puppies for us and a lot of really good quality puppies. Abby was bred to Hondo. Now, Hondo was a red dog back in the day when there was like no reds. I think Hondo was probably maybe the 5th or 6th. Don't quote me on that, but there wasn't very many reds back then. And we made an agreement to swap studs for 6 months. So we sent Chance to Texas, and Hondo came to us for 6 months. So we tried to use him as much as we could with everybody. The reason we did that is because this, for one, it brought in the red gene, which no one had. Abby carried the red gene. We already knew that. And we didn't have males that had the red gene that we knew of. We bred Abby to Hondo, and that's where we got Keanu. So you all probably know Keanu, one of our favorite reds, our first red boy. He is not breeding anymore, but he is still here with us. Doesn't have many teeth left, and he's not as pretty as he used to be. He's more orangey. But Keanu plays a big part in our breeding program, or did in the past, and again comes from Abby. And then we bred Abby to Chance. So Abby and Chance gave us Zeus, who is the other male. So a lot of you guys are gonna hear, you have a puppy from Zeus, you have a puppy from Hunter, you have a puppy from Keanu. Those 3 males were our go-to males for 10 years, and their mom is Abby, all 3 of them. So then years go by, right? Keanu grows up, and we put Kika with Keanu. And we got Kaylani. Now, this is pretty sad because I don't have pictures of Kaylani. I couldn't find anything, which I'm really disappointed in because this was my last Kika daughter, my very last puppy from Kika, period. And it was with Keanu. And now we're getting close to all of the goods, guys. Now we took Mackenzie to Tyler. Now, Tyler came from another breeder in Texas as an adult. He's related to Hondo, so came from the same breeder where Hondo came out. So we took Tyler to Mackenzie. Voila. we got Diamond and Siggy. So I want you guys to think about that. Kika produced Cassie, Cassie produced Mackenzie, Mackenzie produced Diamond and Siggy. So that's 4 generations right there, all from Kika coming down. And if you look at Diamond right here and her mother, there is a lot of similarities, even their coat length. Then we said, oh, let's take Hunter to Siggy. So we took Hunter to Siggy. We got Rue. So now all of these dogs are gonna all make sense to you guys because you know all of these dogs, they live here. So now we have Rue. So Hunter and Siggy made Rue. So then we took Hunter to Aggie. Now, Aggie wasn't born or bred here, but when Jen retired from breeding, Aggie came to us. So we bred Aggie to Hunter, and that's where we got Simba. So you see how we took a female that's not related, and we added Hunter into that, and then Simba became Hunter's replacement as far as our breeding program goes. We got a gray and white for a gray and white. We actually got a better dog out of Simba than Hunter was, just because of his mask. I would say his markings on his face are a little better than Hunter's were. Then we took Kaylani and Stebbins. And Stebbins came from another breeder. And so he wasn't born or bred here. So Stebbins and Kaylani gave us Nala. Now you guys see where Nala came from. So Nala is Kika's granddaughter. You catch that? Kika's daughter and granddaughter. Kona and Nala are very similar, very similar. Markings very similar. So remember we bred Hunter to Siggy? Well, we decided to take Hunter to Siggy's sister. So we took Hunter to Diamond. And they gave us a 6-pack. If you've been around for a while, they gave us 6 gray and white stamped puppies. I mean, they were all gray and white. They were all boys. They were all blue-eyed. They were all Hunter puppies. So 6 puppies. And 6 boys, exactly. And they created Fiat. Fiat went to another breeder. We bred Simba and Siggy. If you guys have been around, you remember we dual bred her. And we got Kira. So that's where Kira came from. So now we have Kika, Cassie, Mackenzie, Siggy, Kira. 5 generations with Kira. So from Kika to Kira, 5 generations of Kika. Then the breeder we sold Fiat to bred to Zoe, which by the way also came from us. And Zoe's parents were Phoebe and Stebbins. And they made River. So that's where River came from. So River came back to us from the breeder that we sold those dogs to. So we sold them these dogs and we got River back. So that's where River came from. So River is 6 generations of Kika line. 6 generations. And now we're right back at our pretty Kika look-alike. So River is still up and coming. He is, 10 months? 9 months? 9 or 10 months old now. But hopefully he will be joining our breeding program. That is our family tree. So if you see all of this, hopefully you guys could see everything. That's where everybody is. And that's how it falls all the way down to River here, 6 generations. Again, until next time, bye.